Hello, welcome back. So I was asked to see if I could show something from a live scoring session. So here we are. This is a short film called I Don't Bite. Really fun project. It doesn't go where you think it's going to go. Directors are Ben Yannette and Andy Hassell. Hope I didn't butcher their last names because I just know them as Ben and Andy. So they made this is kind of like a short thriller. We have our film sequence here. I'm using Logic Pro, but you can use kind of whatever. I'm just really showing how I think and how I set this session up. So he's our de facto bad guy, and he's chasing a girl. And we'll just kind of walk through what I did for this. Main event here is going to be the OB6. I have a MIDI track here on this channel, and what I did was I have an external input setup. We're sending MIDI out, but we're not taking audio back. The reason for this is that when you go to bounce down from Logic, if you have any of these tracks live, it bounces in real time, and it's rough. So what I do is I just set up my own audio track, and then I push record, and I just record the bass line coming in. What else do we have here? This is kind of a 9 Inch Nails track you'll hear. So I'm using the DFAM as the kick. I literally played this. You can see it's a little bit time corrected. Not much, like just a little. Blue means not corrected at all. White means a little bit. So what I did was I had the click track going, and I was just pushing trigger on the DFAM to get the kicks to come out. And then I kind of edited it together. Couldn't get the snare I wanted out of the DFAM, so I'm just using a stock Battery 4 kit from Native Instruments for the snare. And then we have two Omnisphere textures here. I have a Lyra 8 at the bottom, just kind of, this is like my tension. And then I have a few like rise and hit types of things. So here's a swoosh and here's a sub hit. So let's hear the whole thing, and then we'll break it down. So he is going to go say hello to this girl. This is just like, tension. We're working up to an action. All right, so that's our sequence. We could break it down a little bit. The OB6, that's just an ARP. So, I have my external out. I'm using the internal arpeggiator from Logic. Let me just kind of turn these off here so you can hear. So there's a lot going on in the automation. We have the volume coming up. So right now there's no distortion. There's different kinds of distortion happening, basically. Okay, so the way I'm getting this sound, it's just a double saw coming out of the OB6. I have two distortions over here, just using like the Native Instruments distortion pedal. So what's happening is we're slowly increasing the drive over time, and you'll hear that. We're kind of a little distorted. So you hear just more and more distortion, right? And then we're going to bring in the second as we go across. Okay, now, as we all know, with distortion, what happens is when you really crank it up, you lose all your low end. There's like no bass left here. Okay, so what I had to do was I duplicated that section. And you can see here I have a little bit of a EQ. It's just low passed. So this is going to be all the bottom end. It doesn't have the extra distortion happening. Okay, so when you put those together, you just get nice full bass sound. Right? So that's sort of like the step one of this. There's a lot of other little things happening here. I use Neutron a lot. I don't know how I lived before this thing, because it's gets me really in the ballpark, and then I kind of go in here and I adjust what it's done. But you know, the nature of my business is that everything has to get in and out really fast. I can write the music, but I have to be able to mix really fast, and Neutron and Ozone are sort of become my go-tos for this. The other automation thing that's happening is filter cutoff. So we start with, you know, a filtered kick, and you can actually watch it. I'm just using stock Logic filter. And as the knob turns down, we get more bass. Okay, so that's sort of the nuts and bolts of this. The thing here is we're just watching the scene and trying to time it. I did this with the directors sitting here. So we were just like looking for, okay, he's working up. We need to have a break. So he's coming. And he changes his mind and goes off in the other direction. So it's kind of like we're building up this tension, and then we're dropping the bottom out of the tension. Okay, so that's just my basic cue. This is a nice little setup. Just for fun, we can listen to what didn't work. This is my first idea. So this worked too. I think the other one was just better. We did some automation, you know, I tried some different things. This one was just like, you know, a better option, basically. So as we come down here, and that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions. Lyra was played completely live. I just watched it. I was like, it needs to make that whiny sound. So that's what I did. And I think the main takeaways here is like, how are you sculpting a scene? You know, are we following the actions on the screen? Are we making it better? That's always kind of what I'm doing, is I'm turning off the music and watching and saying, okay, is this better or worse? I don't know. You can usually tell, like if you turn it off and the scene didn't get better, then your music isn't doing the right thing, probably, or the right thing emotionally. And that's all I've got for you. I hope you learned something. I hope you get some ideas from this. I'm going to show some other ones. This is particularly clean. When you're doing these indie films, sometimes things just get like off the click track. It's like, just watch the action. So I'll show one of those next. And I hope this helps, and I hope you have some ideas to try. Take care.